Hello, and welcome back. It's Saturday afternoon, maybe 1:30. So less than 3 hours. So I had an errand. I had to go run down, and last one I was at the pet store at the beginning of the month. And I got a whole bunch of cat food real cheap. That's when the Pet Supplies Plus, this one down here, starts marking stuff at 50%, 75%. But I forgot to get litter. I had to run back down there. I go, I'm down there, stop at a couple of thrifties. That's what I did. So it's a sourcing video. So I didn't really intend on going anywhere today, but in part I did because I had to get something. Turned out pretty good for just the three stops and the less than 3 hours I was gone. Let's start with the first place I went to. The Habitat for Humanity. I've been there in probably a month. I got these three DVDs, 322. This Voltron, I don't remember now. $20, maybe it's a little more. This Inspector Gadget is 25 to 30. This is an X library, so it'll kind of lower the price down, but for $1 for a $25 DVD. And this classical stretch. I saw plenty of these exact ones with her. This was like closer to 40. Savers was $6. I got this Best of Boingo, like Oingo Boingo, but it's just called Boingo. So it might be different than Oingo Boingo. Do you really wanna hug me? It's not Oingo Boingo. Do you really wanna make me cry? Tangerines? Boy George, Culture Club. There we go. But that's not this. It's about $15. Now Savers was not much. So when stuff is right around there, that's $2. If it sells for 15, still making decent enough, about $5 on a $15 sale. Maybe a little, maybe 7. It's the after school specials. Not really a fast seller. It is 1979, 1980. Most of the sales are going to be multiple discs, but for the $3, it'll flip to 20, right around there. And this Magic of Animals. Now, granted, it's a little larger hardcover book. It's $1.80. It's an X library. I've sold. Try to find a good illustration. There we go. So it has these little illustrations in here. Drawings by Robin Jacquet, like Jacquet Mage, the $1,200 frames I got. That's just pretty cool. Not really a fast seller either, and I believe this is the first edition. A lot of library stuff generally is. Yeah, it's a first edition. Price clipped, $20. So it'll fit in. I don't think it'll fit in one of the 6x10, 6x9.5, whatever they are, eBay envelopes. Larger one, yeah, for sure. But like $20. And VOA, Volunteers of America, was almost 13. And there's some good ones in there. So this specific Nottingham, is it? Northanger Abbey. This Blu-ray, new, are like $70. Used, they're 50, and they sell for that. The Strong, 25, if I remember right, for sealed. This may be one that's like $20. Each of these Primas with book, multiple CDs. And I don't know what this exact, one's with the pronunciation guide. So these are right around 25 each. All these disc media, this was all $2 there. And this oh, maybe it was, yeah, that's right. So the pricing's right. That one's only like $15. Now I have a couple others of Teen Mom. I might, to complete, I think I have a season 2, which is like 45, $50. I'll probably put the two together because I got like 3 of the season 2s before. And I know at least one sold because I remember putting it in a sourcing video. If I still have one more of season 2 or other ones, then I'll put those together. That's usually when I'll start putting stuff together, is when I've had one for a while and it's just not really popping off. So for the $2 and add season 2 to that, I can still ask the 50 plus. So I paid $2 to ensure I'm going to get $50 for that other one. Reseller logic. So what it is exactly wise, there's maybe 2 things that are under 15. Everything else is 20 plus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I say probably $300 for 15, 16, and 6, $22. So that's still within that. Even if it's 220, that's 1 to 10. It's kind of what I like to focus on, but that's why I'm not buying a 2 pound or a book that'll be at the 2 pound rate, the 1 pound, 1 ounce and more, that sells for $15, and I bought it for 4. That's why I'm not doing that range. Most of the time when I'm buying, if it's going to be a little lower, 12, $15, right at 15, I'll spend $2 on something, maybe a little more if it sells fast enough, but I'm not spending $2 on stuff that's constantly selling for $10, $12. If I get that stuff in a lot, right, I just don't actively do that. I will, but I just don't actively. I'm trying to look for that minimum sells for 15. So when I'm on the app and I'm looking and the price lowest first for the condition or whatever it may be, hovers right at that 15 or at least double digits, like 12, 13, I'll start doing the drawdowns. Does it sell regularly for 12, $14? All right. If it does that and it's $2, do I really want to put the 2 in it or the $2 in it, or is it $1? Yeah, I'll do that for $1. It sits around, might get lowball for $9 because I've had it. So there's all kinds of variations. But when you start aiming right at that $15 total mark, what it sells for, maybe $10 and $5 shipping. All right, $15 total. If you focus on that as your lower, not lowest, that is your lower threshold. When you're buying stuff and you're putting stuff on sale, even on the higher sale, whichever it may be, you're still not going to be, you're still making money. And the way on how I structure my sales and my sell similars, how often I do that, a couple times a week I'm doing that, and I will click the view count. And I said this before in other videos, I'll just repeat it for anyone who's new. I will click the view count for anything that's listed 3 months, that has been listed for 3 months or more, and you can columnize. So you can go into time listed, and it'll show the oldest listed. Put 200 on a page and start scrolling down. Anything that's older than 3 months, which is going to be at least a couple pages, depending on how many listings you have. If it has at least 3 in that 30-day marker, that 30-day counter, that's what that number means. It's within 30 days. It means within a month it's garnered a few enough views. I'll click on that 3, and if it has 4, 5, 6 or more, I'll take it down and reprice it. If it's a disc media, roughly 5%. If it's anything else, more likely closer to 10%. And then I'll post it as a sell similar. So now it got listed on that day I listed it. Now it's no longer 8 months old or a year and 2 months old. So that's how I do that, and I do that frequently, especially if there's days that I'm going out and I'm not back until 6. I'm not going to get pictures of at least 25 listings and get all that. And then that's done by, I mean, I'll be done with pictures for 25 listings by within an hour, well within an hour. And then wait for everything to load and then transfer to the PC and then start looking stuff up. I won't be done till like 9. I could do that 7 days a week and probably and at least double my sales. But I'm not working to break my back. I'm working to do stuff to have money to buy stuff and to get a little more sales, a little more, a little more. Speaking of, they're way down, way down. So it's the more, the more you get, the more you list, the more you can sell. And when you have a more of a different variety, especially in physical media, every once in a while you'll get this pop off $50 book, $100 book, $100 CD. Some days will just be bread and butters, and I have plenty of videos of it just being bread and butter. 12 sales for $200, whichever. That's all just bread and butter stuff that I'm probably paying 50 cents or a dollar or $1.54, and they're selling for 15, $18. But I'm still making 5 on each of those, and you wouldn't sell them if you didn't have them. So that's kind of a little, I really want to call it prepared, but that's the crux of what I do. I have very specific routes that I can vary up on which stores I go to on which days, but for the most part, at least 3 days a week, I'm going much farther out than the local stores. So I'm traveling a half an hour, 40 minutes, 45, 50 minutes out, and I'm hitting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stores. And then I come back home. That's usually when I'm back at like 5, 6 o'clock. And then I'll do 25 sell similars, which by the time I look at all those, take them all down, reprice, put everything back in the proper sale brackets, the price range sale brackets, that's a half hour, 40 minutes. Right? So that's that work done for the day. And then when those stats are done of that stuff of the newer listings, and that's done and listed, and I'll come over here and it'll be in stacks, and in some videos will see them, and then sometime within a day or two, when they're much higher, I'll go in and I'll put them all away in the proper in boxes, and then rinse, repeat, and just keep the inventory that way. So if you're, I guess this is more of a, if you're new here, and my brain just, I'm just gonna keep going. But anything to help anybody who's listening. If what I do is different, and if it's enough for you to catch on to something a little different here, a little different there, and it helps you find more stuff to sell more, then you're helping yourself, you're helping the buyer, and you're helping the the little micro economy, and you're keeping stuff out of the landfill. So I think that's going to end that little. Well, I guess it can't be a soliloquy because I'm talking to someone. But either way, let's call it a soliloquy. That hey, I go around and I buy media, and that's what I do when I sell it. I make money doing it. And why anybody else doesn't do it, I don't know. That's like a soliloquy. But either way, if you like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, thumb your thingy lets me know. Comment lets me know a little more. What do we have here? Subscribe, share. It's free. They help me, help you, help other people learn about selling, buying, and selling physical media. Appreciate it. Thank you.